Assalamu alaikum. My name is Anna Makhtar, and today I will be discussing the types of mathematical models that are used and implemented in the field of operations research for different purposes. वो purposes तो हम देखेंगे, but सबसे पहले I will start off by highlighting the outline of this presentation. First, we will define the mathematical models कि mathematical models हैं क्या. उसके बाद the role of mathematical models in operations research. Operations research की field में mathematical models कहाँ और क्यों use होते हैं. Then the types of mathematical models that are a lot, जिसमें हमारे पास categories और sub categories हैं. उसके बाद future innovations that are being made in the field of operations research and mathematical models, and then we will finally conclude the presentation. तो सवाल है, what are mathematical models? Mathematical models are basically just simplified representation of real world systems. तो आप ऐसे देख लें कि आपके पास कोई प्रॉब्लम है and you are viewing it, you are translating it into mathematical terms जैसे equation, जैसे symbols. तो जब हम उसको इस तरह से कंस्ट्रक्ट करते हैं कि हमें वो एक मैथ्स की फॉर्म में रखे, दैट इज मैथमेटिकल मॉडल्स. अब ये क्यों करते हैं? दीज आर कंस्ट्रक्टेड टू डिस्क्राइब, एनालाइज, प्रिडिक्ट एंड ऑप्टिमाइज द बिहेवियर ऑफ कॉम्प्लेक्स systems, and they are very powerful tools for gaining insights into complex systems. They are also used for testing hypotheses, making predictions, and most importantly, these mathematical models guide us in decision making. So mathematical models are used in across various fields including physics, engineering, biology, and of course operations research. Characteristics of mathematical models. Characteristics can be thought of as the features of mathematical models, जिसमें सबसे पहले abstraction. Abstraction किस तरह चाहिए होती है? So you have a problem and you want to focus on the most relevant aspects of a system, या उस problem के सिर्फ relevant system पे relevant aspects पे focus करना है, relevant aspects को disregard करना है. That's abstraction, and that is possible through mathematical models. Next, variable representation. तो problems में we have several attributes, quantities, and properties that can be assigned some variables, and uh, relationships भी उन्हीं variables के through हम form कर सकते हैं using mathematical equations, functions, and algorithms. Lastly, validation and verification. So mathematical models should always be validated and verified to ensure accuracy and reliability in representing real world phenomena. So obviously, if you are representing a real world problem, you will want that आपका जो mathematical model है वो fully verified and validated हो. Next is the role of mathematical models in operation research. So operations research की field में mathematical models are very important because they help us formulate our problems. हमारी problems को एक structure मिल जाता है through mathematical models. उसके बाद they also allow us to quantitatively analyze. So obviously, if you have a problem, you have a system, you will want it to analyze it in every possible way. And quantitative analysis is one such analysis that is possible through mathematical models. उसके बाद ऑपरेशन रिसर्च की फील्ड में ऑप्टिमाइजेशन इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, बड़ा जोर होता है इस पर, तो उस वो भी पॉसिबल है थ्रू मैथमेटिकल मॉडल्स. एंड नेक्स्ट, सिमुलेशन एंड प्रिडिक्शन. आप योर वेदर फोरकास्टिंग सिस्टम्स एंड अदर सच सिस्टम्स आल्सो यूटिलाइज दीज मैथमेटिकल मॉडल्स, वो आपके प्रिडिक्टिव सिस्टम्स हैं. एंड लास्टली, डिसीजन सपोर्ट. डिसीजन सपोर्ट इज वेरी वेरी क्या कहते हैं, वेरी decision support is very encouraged through mathematical models in the field of operations research. So next we have types of mathematical models. Mathematical models can be categorized into various categories and subcategories. So first of all, we are going to discuss the deterministic models. Deterministic models assume that all parameters and inputs are known. तो ये वो models हैं जिसमें हमें अपने inputs पहले से ही पता है. Your problem, ये जो भी आपका system है, you know what is going into that system. So there is no space for uncertainty or ambiguity in deterministic models. अच्छा deterministic model में हमारे पास linear programming models आ जाते हैं, non-linear programming models, integer programming models and dynamic programming models आ जाते हैं. So now we're going to see what are linear programming models. Linear programming models are basically used to optimize a linear objective function to a set of linear equality and inequality constraints. So they are basically used in economics, engineering, business, and logistics to make optimal decisions in resource allocation वगैरह, production planning, inventory management, transportation and scheduling. लीनियर का मतलब यही है इसमें कि योर जो आपके इनपुट्स हैं या जो आपका आउटपुट है इट इज़ ऑलवेज गोइंग टू वेरी लीनियरली. कोई एक्सपोनेंशियल ग्रोथ नहीं होगी, कोई कर्व्स नहीं आएंगे. इट इज़ ऑल गोइंग टू बी लीनियर. Linear programming problems can be solved using algorithms such as the simplex method, interior point methods, or mixed integer line programming solvers. Next, we have nonlinear programming models. The nonlinear are basically the opposite of linear programming because it extends the concept of linear programming to optimize. अब इसमें जो problems linear programming से solve नहीं हो सकती वो फिर हम non-linear programming models के through solve करते हैं. They are used when the relationship between decision variables and objective constraints are non-linear. So basically जो रियल वर्ल्ड में हमारी प्रॉब्लम होती है दे आर नॉट ऑलवेज लीनियर. तो वी these models, non-linear programming models are very useful. They are used to solve the problems in engineering design, financial modeling, chemical process optimization, and in many other fields. They are solved through gradient-based methods, interior point methods, and genetic algorithms. Again, next type of model is the statistical models. Statistical models भी use होते हैं to support decision making and to analyze the data. But in statistical models we use statistics की बहुत सारी properties to analyze our data. So these models leverage statistical techniques and methods to describe relationships between variables, identify patterns, and make inferences about the underlying processes in a system. तो बहुत सारी like these models का main difference यही है in how the problem is constructed. तो statistical models में हम problem को इस तरह construct करते हैं, इस तरह view करते हैं that हमारी जो statistics की बहुत सारी techniques हैं, those techniques can be applied on that problem to obtain a solution, to analyze the data, identify patterns, and make inferences. So, two types of analysis that are carried out in statistical models include regression analysis and time series analysis. Regression analysis है एक statistical method है that is used to model the relationship between a dependent variable and one or more independent variables. The regression analysis जब हम किसी भी problem का करते हैं it looks like this picture that is displayed on the screen. इस तरह से कुछ regression analysis का graph form होता है that allows us to form relationships and analyze the data. Next is time series analysis. Time series analysis भी एक statistical method है that is analyzed for data collected over time. तो एक period of time पे हम एक अपनी problem के लिए data collect करते हैं and then we plot it over a graph that can look like this, displayed over the screen. तो इस तरह से जो patterns फिर हम फिर ये nowadays it is widely used in our online trading that is being carried out. That these time series analysis help us to observe patterns, trends, and seasonality in our data. So these are very useful. Next, we have the stochastic models. Stochastic models are mathematical models that incorporate randomness or uncertainty into the modeling process. तो जो हमारे deterministic models थे उसमें उसमें ये चीज़ नहीं थी. उसमें we already knew the inputs that were going into our system, but in stochastic models we have some room for uncertainty and randomness into the modeling process. तो इसमें हमारे पास queuing theory model है, Markov decision theory models हैं and simulation models हैं. Queuing theory models are basically if we have to relate it to a real world problem, तो जो हम जब कहीं जाते हैं एंड लाइन में लगते हैं फॉर आवर टर्न, दैट इज क्यूइंग. तो क्यूइंग थ्योरी मॉडल में भी यही चीज़ यूटिलाइज होती है दैट the system that we are analyzing, वहाँ पे entities arrive in a sequence and they wait in line and they are served one by one. तो जो इसकी मेजर एग्जांपल हो सकती है दैट कैन बी आर कंप्यूटर्स ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम, जहाँ पे हमारे जो कंप्यूटर ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम को जो टास्क मिलते हैं दे अराइव इन अ सीक्वेंस एंड दे आर स्टोर्ड एंड दे आर सर्व्ड वन बाय द ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम. तो क्यूइंग थ्योरी की बहुत सारी एप्लीकेशंस हैं इन वेरियस फील्ड्स इंक्लूडिंग टेलीकम्युनिकेशंस, हेल्थ केयर, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग एंड कस्टमर सर्विस. Next, we have simulation models. Simulation models are computational models used to mimic the behavior of real world systems over time. Simulation models are basically used for systems जिनको हम real world में test नहीं कर सकते, तो we test it in a computational environment. The simulation models are useful for those purposes. Next, we have the allocation models. Allocation models in operation research focus on optimizing the allocation of resources to achieve the specific objectives or goals. Allocation means कि हमारे पास resources हैं and then we have to allocate it in such a way कि सबकी demands भी fulfill हो जाएं and हमारी services भी पूरी हो जाएं. तो इसके लिए we have the resource allocation models, capital budgeting models and portfolio optimization models. Resource allocation models in operation research are mathematical models that are used to optimize the allocation of scarce resources to various activities or projects within an organization. तो रिसोर्स एलोकेशन मॉडल्स हम ज़्यादातर यूज़ करते हैं इन आवर डेली कॉरपोरेट बिजनेसेस, जहाँ पे वी माइट हैव अ प्रोजेक्ट एंड उनको किसी टीम की ज़रूरत हो तो हमें और हमारी रिसोर्सेज पहले से ही कम हो तो हमें अपनी रिसोर्सेज इस तरह एलोकेट करनी होंगी दैट सबकी डिमांड्स फुलफिल हो जाए, हमारा प्रोजेक्ट टाइम पे कंप्लीट हो जाए. तो दीज मैथमेटिकल मॉडल्स कैन बी अप्लाइड देयर in these situations. These models help decision makers make informed choices about how to allocate resources efficiently. So decision makers को help हो जाती है in how to allocate their resources efficiently to achieve strategies objectives. All right. So lastly, we are going to look upon the future innovations that are being made in the field of operations research. So as you all know that AI is taking over in every field, and OR is no stranger to that because AI techniques such as machine learning, deep learning, and natural language processing are increasingly being integrated into OR methodologies. And जो हमारे mathematical models हैं, those are also going to be improvised and enhanced by AI-enabled algorithms, and they will also be able to solve more complex systems in the future. They will also be able to provide real-time insights into complex systems through AI. AI-driven approaches offer the potential to automate repetitive tasks, discover patterns in data, and optimize processes in ways not previously possible. तो पहले जो हमारी knowledge थी, our knowledge was limited, and there was only a limit to what we can achieve with mathematical models in the field of operations research. But that limit is going to extend with the help of AI, and the field is most likely to completely advance within the near future. OR practitioners will be able to leverage big data analytics to gain deeper insights into system behavior and performance. So हमारी जो data analytics की field है, that is also going to be greatly affected in the future with the advancement of AI. So concluding this presentation, we can safely say that the mathematical models are very powerful tools that are used in the field of operations research. They enable operations research practitioners to analyze, optimize, and make informed decisions in complex systems. Without these mathematical models, I personally think that हमारी जो decision making वाली चीज़ है, जो optimization वाली चीज़ है, it will be very weak without these mathematical models. अगर हम एक अपनी problem को structure ही ना कर पाएँ, अगर हम अपने problem को model ही ना कर पाएँ, तो हम उसको solve कैसे करेंगे, हम solutions कहाँ लाएंगे? So these mathematical models are very useful. Across various domains within OR, a diverse range of mathematical models play crucial roles in addressing different types of problems and challenges. They also help navigate complexity, mitigate risks, and make informed decisions to improve organizational performance and societal well-being. So this was the end of my presentation. I thank you for listening to it and watching it. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.